Hello, Mystic Travelers, and welcome to our weekly overview of, decoding one of the biggest astrological events of the week using tarot and the Qabalistic Tree of Life. So this is for the week of March 29th through April 4th, and even though we're talking about Saturn conjunct Neptune and Aries, which is something that started back in February, and I did a longer video about that, and I'll link it below. But we're going to go through it because it's still a really big deal and it's still really working on us. And it's such a rare thing. So as I said in the other video, Saturn is structure, discipline, reality. And Neptune is dissolution, illusion, and transcendence. So in Aries, this reforms the will itself. And the cards that are associated with this Qabalistic Tree of Life part this time is going to be Saturn, the world, and Neptune, the hanged man. And the dominant path is actually going to be from Mem to Geburah. Sorry, the letter is Mem, the path is Mem. So this is Geburah to Hod, and I'm going to give you more details about that. Geburah is discipline and severity to Hod, which is intellect and mental structure. So this is putting us strictly into the left pillar territory. So you are going to have to be really careful about making sure that you become balanced and making sure that Mem, the pathway Mem, is not leaning too heavy into over intellectualizing things. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So the most affected signs are going to be Aries, Capricorn, and Pisces. And as kind of an extension of what we talked about the last 2 weeks, there is the feeling of complete dissolution of the structures that you thought were solid in your life. So some things, some ideas, some dreams are going to dissolve and you're going to have new ones crystallizing for you. It is disillusionment followed by reconstruction. With Aries, the will itself is going to be reformed. Look at this powerful, powerful energy. The will being reformed. You know, we talked about making sure that, last week we talked about making sure that the structure that your emotions were balanced with the King of Swords energy to make sure your mind was not being overtaken by your emotions. But this week with the idea of this Mem path, which is on the severity side of, it's the severity pillar, whereas the other one is the mercy pillar. You do not want to fall into this Nine of Swords energy, which is overthinking it. You want to balance it with this King of Cups. So it's kind of a whiplash, right? Last week it was like, be careful, your emotions might take over. This week it's like, be careful, you may overthink it. So, but different life areas that you need to be thinking about, like long-term dreams. The ideas of your long-term dreams can be planted now. And with that planting, whether it has to do with your spiritual identity or your career or love or anything like that, you want to plant those seeds now with this eclipse energy, with this transmutation energy that's strong in the air. But watch out, because you may have a crisis around authority figures. And if that happens, this could come to that sort of breaking point where you start overthinking things. Look at that. Now we have the King of Swords as well. So we're talking about balancing these two so that you can reach this inner priestess energy. You're going to see things from a different perspective. And this is closing out the old cycle that we've been talking about the last few weeks where, yeah, look at that. The Three of Swords. Wow. Look at all this court energy. You may even feel like you are jumping identities constantly. Like 1 minute you might be like, oh, I feel this like really emotional. Oh no, now I'm miserable. Oh no, now I feel heartbroken. Oh no, now I'm empowered. Oh no, now I just want to have fun. But with this kind of energy, it's not that surprising. So the light aspect of this is evolving into more mature spirituality or more discipline in your life. So becoming more grounded in making your inspiration come down into reality. Not becoming brokenhearted over dreams that you feel like you can't fulfill, but rather manifesting them down from the upper levels of the tree where they're still dreams and bringing them down into the world in a practical way. Because remember, the world has to do with Malkut or manifestation on the tree of life. So reality is going to be testing you, but this reality test is going to strengthen you. Oh my gosh, look, what did I just say? This reality test is going to strengthen your belief. Yeah, with the Six of Cups and Page of Wands energy, make sure you're being more playful. Because there's so much about this, about like sacrificing to clarify. We were talking about the lightning bolt moment. Look at that. The lightning bolt moment last week. So you want to watch out for disillusionment and escapism versus rigidity. Neptune dissolves everything, or Saturn can harden you, right? So you're looking for the balance of the two. You don't want to become too hard. You don't want to get too far into the swords energy. You know, that'll break your heart. But you also don't want to dissolve everything to where you have no identity left. Because when you're in this phase, which is the threshold phase on the tree, it can often be called Da'at. This threshold phase is a phase where the old self is dissolved and the new self has not been reformed yet. Just remember, have faith in yourself that it will be reforming, and it will be reforming soon. It's already in the process. It's a done deal. You just have to trust in the process and trust in yourself. I breathe in confidence and exhale fear. Let go of the fears around this energy. If you're feeling disillusioned with things, give it the space it needs. Remember, this might seem cloudy right now, but it's actually clearing out a lot of old illusions for you. So, in this continuation of the Saturn conjunct Neptune and Aries, remember that it is your choice how this dissolved structure is rebuilt in this reality. So instead of focusing on the fear around it, when you feel a little, in the fog about it, focus on your confidence in rebuilding the life that you want. Not the way everyone else has been influencing you, but how you've always wanted. Let this cycle close as peacefully as you can. See your new perspective and use your strength to move forward in that strong way that you want, balanced with your emotions. Don't get caught up in these energies. They will want to pull you backwards, but you're ready to move forward. All right, Mystic Travelers. Next week, we will be discussing the full moon in Libra, which is occurring on April 8th. So I will see you then.